We just heard the details about Rich Homie Quan, RIP. If y'all Rich Homie Quan fans, go ahead and hit the comment section. Let's get right into this, man. So, Rich Homie Quan literally was just doing a show the other day. He posted on his IG. He said he had vision and he could see clear through all the BS. So he was going through something. A lot of these rappers, man, they going through a lot of things and they using a lot of different things like that. They're doing show after show, partying, living the lifestyle and everything, and it catches up to them, man. And so you got to understand people that like they had to take care of themselves. Rich Homie Quan, whatever it is that that happened with that, it has to have been like they're looking at any possible traces of anything that could have been in his system, anything that could have been inside of his cup, or like they're looking at everything because they have to figure out, the family is trying to get to the bottom of this and get justice. They want answers. Like so basically the whole night started when they were on the road somewhere and he ended up like being basically unresponsive, and they had to rush him straight to the hospital, to the ER, and they basically tried to like do everything that they could right then and there, and like everyone went there and they waited overnight until somebody like came out to tell them an update on what was going on with the situation. So they were watching very close on Rich Homie Quan. Like they were making sure that he had like his vitals. They were giving him water. They were trying to do anything that it was to actually get him to get back up and be under his own strength and everything. And so this is a very sad situation, and we're getting a lot of news saying that he didn't make it through. And so everybody was like, praying and hoping that it all went well and everything like that. And so you got to understand that people need to put down the cup. They need to put down the pills, everything, man, because you got to understand, it could have been you, it could have been somebody else. And so it just happened to be Rich Homie Quan this time. And we seen this happen with a lot of rappers. We seen it happen with Lil Keed. We seen it happen with Big Pokey. We seen it happen with a lot of other people where they just fell out unresponsive, and it could have been due to anything. And so what you got to understand is that at the end of the day, when all of this happens, like people have to pretty much cherish the moments, because Rich Homie Quan was just trying to revive his whole entire thing. He was back on doing a lot of shows, and so he was just getting back into where he was at just when he started earlier in his career with the hits and everything like that. And so he was working very hard, and it seemed like from his posts and everything, he was going through a lot of stuff behind closed doors. So whatever he was doing to deal with that, it basically ended up, if what we're hearing is true, and the fact that it might have been to because of an OD, because he took something, or maybe something was slipped, who knows what really happened. But Rich Homie Quan, like he and all the other rappers, they have to be very careful, because that lifestyle could catch up quick to them, with them being on the road, them being city to city, show after show. And it's literally like every night somebody in their crew is trying to turn up with them. And like, even if it was something that wasn't strong that he took or something like that, it's like do over and over again. It's probably not their first time doing that. And so, and a lot of people too, if it's their first time taking something, or if it wasn't, they hadn't did it in a long time or whatever like that, that could cause some sort of reaction to happen to where he end up having some sort of issue and complications because of the items and substances that entered into his whole entire like actual body and everything like that. And so people are paying close attention to what's really going on, and they're trying to review all of the footage from that night, where Rich Homie Quan was, what studio he went to, who was his driver, did they make any stops somewhere. If they made any stops somewhere, and let's say for example, if they stopped at a McDonald's or a Burger King or something like that, and the video shows somebody pulling up next to them in the car and handing him like a baggie or something like that, and then they know for a fact that after that, if Rich Homie Quan ended up falling out and being unresponsive, then it could be you could be led to believe that it could have been from the exchange that happened at the parking lot. Because a lot of times when something like that happened, it's like, how did Rich Homie Quan even get the stuff? And so now they're looking through Rich Homie Quan's phone. They're looking through everybody he called and like contacted, and everywhere that he visited, to see if they could find out who sold him and who gave him the stuff that pretty much caused him to have this happened to him. And so the family is trying to fight for the justice, and they're trying to get like any type of information. They're trying to get any type of clues that could lead to some sort of like conclusion, because they want to get closure for this. They didn't think that Rich Homie Quan had any type of problems or issues, and if he did, then they pretty much may or may not have known about it, because he might not have told anybody. And you got to remember, a lot of the rappers, they be sipping, they be turning up off the Yerkies and everything like that, the perks and the 30s and the 10, all the stuff that they say in the songs and everything. And this is the thing that, you know, because they say it, because they hear all the other rappers say it, it makes them want to take it too. It makes them want to be a part of the fun and all that. They don't want to be looked at as lame. They don't want to be looked at as the one who's sober and not doing anything. And so they end up caving in, and next thing you know, they get hooked on it. And that's what ends up happening, is that once they get hooked on it, it could lead to something like this, man. And so they basically, man, it's RIP to Rich Homie Quan. I know a lot of people was rooting for him to be like back and be successful and everything like that. But you got to remember, you got to be doing everything right. You can't be, you know, slipping and like, you know, trying to be partying too much, trying to do this and that, to where it ends up catching up. Because after a while, you got to remember, like Rich Homie Quan and everybody like in his hood or whatever, he might have seen people doing it at a young age. And next thing you know, he started doing it too when he was younger and everything. And then maybe he was doing it on and off for years and years and years, and he had money coming in and things like that. You got to remember, this is how a lot of the rappers, they end up having these habits where they have to spend all this money on all the fun they do, on all the party supplies that they got to buy. And that ends up making them end up losing a lot if, you know, the show money don't keep coming in, if they don't keep getting booked, if they don't keep having albums and everything like that. And so at the end of the day, it's something that everybody got to pay a lot of attention to and look at what's really going on in this, because they're trying to figure out who gave this to Rich Homie Quan. How did it all happen? Was it his friends and his crew? Did they give it to him, like, and they were all willingly about to do it? Or was it an instance where it was by accident? Did he pick up the wrong cup from somebody? Was it maybe he was doing it for like a week in a row, and this is like complications from that? They're getting to the bottom, and now the coroner's report and everything is about to come out, and they're getting the medical examiner to look at it and find any type of traces and possibilities of anything that could get the family some answers right now. And so, you know, you got to keep the family in them in your thoughts, and basically, you know, let us know right now if you rocking with Rich Homie Quan. Put the RIPs for him and everything. Put the RHQs right down there in the comment section. Make sure you guys like this video and let me know what y'all really think about this, man. It's a sad situation. We're going to continue to bring updates as we, like, you know, try to talk to the sources out there and get some more details on what happened when he got to the hospital, and see like what his condition is and what led them to basically pull the plug on everything. So it was a continued thing, and I'm gonna catch y'all later.